Hey everybody, welcome back to Spars Outdoors. In this week's fishing report, we're going to talk a little bit about morel mushroom hunting too, as you guys have seen that short. I've been finding quite a few morels in the last few days. That rain really helped out. But let's start off with the fishing report, and we'll talk a little bit about things that I've been doing and what's been going on with me. We'll start right off down on Lake St. Clair in the canals and the cuts, and we'll include Harson's Island in this. The bluegills, the panfish, all the perch, the crappies, they're all up in the cuts right now. Fishing's phenomenal down there. Smallmouth bass really starting to pick up out on the lake. Largemouth bass are in the canal still. It seems a lot of fish being caught. Pike as well. Haven't heard much on the muskie, but the perch, crappies, and the bluegills are in the canals and the cuts. Underneath the lily pads, and the weeds are starting to really grow up along the sides. It's a good time to go fishing. That's about all I have for you guys down there on Lake St. Clair. Work your way down a little bit in the Marine City and Algonac area. Whipping for walleyes out of the boat is really going good. Jigging as well in the daytime has been hot. They're still getting lots of fish trolling right along the power plant there. So it's a good place to go get some silverfish, and walleyes are going right along with those. Not as many when you're trolling, but you could always jig, and when the walleyes turn off, throw a couple boards out and troll for some silverfish. Great fishing down there right now. Come up to Marysville, same thing. Marysville, Port Huron. We'll just do Marysville, Port Huron. It's all going to be the same, all the way from Marysville to the Blue Water Bridge. Great fishing from shore and boat. Whipping, jigging, you name it. Casting has been one of the hottest techniques that I've heard lately. I've personally cast myself, did great numbers real quick. Casting is absolutely on fire. Make sure you get yourself some Thumpum 3-inch plastics to cast with. Jay's Marine Hardware should have those. If not, get a hold of Dan Gark at Thumpum Plastics. Message him. He will have some. Along with Eagle One twisters. I don't know if you can get those anymore. I still have some from last year. That's been a good bait too, is the pearl twister. But them Thumpum Plastics, them 3-inch, they just engulf them, man. And you guys know that I don't push a lot of products very hard, but those really work. So do their 3.75 for jigging, which I got a jigging tournament coming up. But all along the boardwalk, great fishing right now. Still fishing with the heavy rods, and casting and jigging from the boardwalk is doing good, and whipping from the boardwalk as well. So, with the cane pole, if you know your spots to go, get there. It's a great time to fish. Big numbers of walleyes are being pulled, along with silverfish being caught still. So it's just a great time to fish. My boats, I'm going to take all the stuff out from this last tournament, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm going to take all my stuff out of that boat and get walleye gear in there and ready to go whipping. I might go whipping within the next day or two and show you guys a whipping video of the how-to video. And like I explained at the seminar, I'll actually show you the video of how I actually do it. But all along Marysville, Port Huron, just loaded with walleyes. Marine City, Algonac, it's all good. Whipping, jigging, you name it, they're there. Silverfish are around, still can catch some of those. They all have not went to the lake, so there's a lot of fishing going on right now in the St. Clair River. It's absolutely amazing fishery. As always, as I predicted a week ago, told you guys exactly what was going to happen, and it's happened. We got a warm front coming. It's going to spike things up even more. Black River's starting to clear up after all that hard rain. The crappie fishing is going to be awesome. So let's get right into the off streams of the St. Clair River, like the Black River, the Pine River, stuff like that. Loaded up with suckers still. Steelhead fishing up at Ford Dam doing pretty good. Not as good as I thought it'd be, but there's some fish up there to be caught. Actually, a lake trout was taken right from Ford Dam, which is absolutely weird for this time of year. But up there, you just never know, so I can't say it's really that weird. I've caught some crazy fish at different times of the year up there. Crappies in Black River, the log jams, the canals, the cuts, the marinas, if you can get access. If not, you got to use a boat, but I got access to a lot of spots, so I'm going to be really going after those guys here pretty hard. It's one of my favorite fishing to do. As you guys know, I love crappie fishing. Crappie and panfish all up Black River is absolutely great. People misunderstand Black River a lot, and they drive past a ton of fish in their boat when they're going. If you're going to go out walleye fishing, leave a couple hours early, hit some of the trees, hit some of the log jams, and find yourself some panfish before you go out for the walleyes, right? I mean, that's the way to do it. Then you get your walleyes, then you got a panfish dinner, So Black River's loaded up. There's some pike fishing going on. My son has been down. He's been getting pike right locally here, real close to home. Black River and the canals and creeks off of it, catching quite a few pike. A couple big smallmouth bass and a couple largemouth bass he's catching as well. So hit Black River for some fun times of fishing right now. You never know what you're going to catch. The gar pike are starting to come up to the top. which means the carp's going to start rising. Everything's going to start spawning. Bow fishing is going to be fun. If that's your thing, we're going to do some bow fishing as well. I love it. It's fun. So Black River's a great fishery right now as well. Head on up to Lexington. Let's do the harbors. Let's just go with the harbors. Lexington, Port Sanilac, Harbor Beach harbors. The harbors hold fish. The harbors have a lot of fish in them. Steelhead, cohos, Lakers, you name it. Pike. It's crazy. Whitefish. Been a few whitefish caught right here in Port Huron. There's also been a few whitefish caught up in the harbors as well. So harbor fishing is good right now. You never know what you're going to catch. Just go out there with minnows or cast little Cleos or little Meps or Arctic spinners. Has been working really well up in Port Sanilac for some cohos, some very fresh, clean cohos. Some great eaters. Lake trout are in there, pike are in there, Atlantics are in there, steelhead are in there. We've marked so many fish on the graph in this tournament that I was just in, the can, which was a great time. We caught 5 fish. They just weren't heavy enough. But we had a nice mixed bag. We had an Atlantic, 2 cohos, and 2 lake trout. We didn't get to pre-fish, obviously, because my beautiful baby daughter, Peyton River Spire, was born. And I'm glad about that. She's such a gorgeous, gorgeous little girl. But we didn't get to do no pre-fishing, but we still did good for what it was. And we weren't in the bottom 10, so that's good. We try to stay out of that bottom 10. For our first 2 tournaments I ever fished out of my boat and throwing a crew together, we did really well, I think. So next year we're coming for it big, and we're gonna take home that trophy. I guarantee it. I can't guarantee it because it's a salmon tournament. You just never know. You could go out one day and just smash fish, and the next day catch nothing. But congrats to the winners on that. Congrats to all the people that fished it. Congrats to the people that donated to the veterans. And congrats to everybody that was in that tournament. It was a great time for a great cause and a great charities and great sponsors they had. Candy Can was a fun tournament, and can't wait to fish it next year. I've talked to Triple Threat right here. They pro-staffed me, and they're amazing people. We caught all of our fish in the Candy Can on the Triple Threat lures. Every one of them were caught on Triple Threat lures. So, and we run others too. Just because it was a tournament, we were trying to see what was going to work the best, and Triple Threat, hands down, they make amazing spoons. If you have not checked them out, go check out Triple Threat Lures. You guys will be amazed. Absolutely. But what a fun time, fun tournament, and let's get out with the trolling out there. Lexington, you go out one day, you get them, the next day you don't. Starting to slow off, the fish moved out a little bit deeper. We were catching those fish in 80 to 100 foot of water, but we were also catching fish in 40 to 60 foot of water. So they're all over, they're scattered. If you get a mud line, obviously you're going to go fish the mud line. If you don't, they're scattered. You got to find them. Same thing with Port Sanilac. Harbor Beach is going to be the same thing everywhere. Harbor Beach is a better fishery right now. Port Sanilac is a little better too. Lexington, it's always hit or miss there this time of year. It just starts in the summer, things will get a little bit better, and there's going to be great days out of Lexington still, but you're going to want to move a little farther north. You're going to want to fish Port Sanilac and Harbor Beach, definitely, even up in the grindstone for the silverfish and the Lakers. And I'd target 60 to 100 foot. That would be my go-to if it was me to go out there to put some meat in the freezer. I'd fish. Actually, I'd go 40. I'd start in 40, work my way out to 100 in Harbor Beach. And Sanilac, I'd probably start off in 30 and work my way out to 80. And Lexington, I'd probably start off in 30 and work my way out to 70. And that takes a long time to get there because Lexington's just so shallow for so long. So that's the farther north you go, there's more of a temperature break. It goes from 44 right to 39. Out there around that 100-foot mark. So it's a good spot to be out there trolling right now. I haven't checked out Sanilac personally out of the boat because of the tournament, but I'll be hitting it soon. But like I said, it's walleye time for me. I'm going to start transitioning out my boat from all my salmon gear out of it, but I'm going to keep it ready and available to my walleye stuff in it. And we got a walleye tournament coming up the 13th, this Saturday coming up. Me and Mike is in a walleye tournament. It's going to be a fun time as well. Got a few tournaments coming up right back to back to back to back, so it's a fun time to fish, and it's also a chance to really do some damage here and put ourselves at the top of the list of these tournaments. So I think we'll do well. Good luck to everybody getting in these tournaments, and again, congrats to all the winners of the tournaments. Head right up a little bit farther, up into the Caseville area. I haven't heard much. I do know there's bluegills and there is a few perch around. The perch never really showed up like they do every year. So I expect June to be good. I expect June to be good for perch. I'm calling it now, and I expect June to be good up there by Alexander's Bait and Tackle. I expect to be very good right behind there in the marina and in the river. I know Harbor Beach, they're getting a few perch around the harbor, but not many. I ain't got much of a perch report right now, but that's coming. That time's coming, June, July is perch time. So that's about all I have for you guys for the fishing report for the week. But let's talk a little bit about these morel mushrooms. People are asking me, where are you finding them? I'm finding them in St. Clair County. I live in St. Clair County. I go to Sanilac County a lot, but the morel hunt I do right here by home. Look around dead ash, apple trees, old abandoned apple orchards are good. But as you can see in the videos, I was finding them in just grass, right? Well, it looked like just grass, but I was around actually oak trees haven't. It's crazy because white oak trees have been producing the most morels for us this year. The outskirts of them, though, I'm talking like 50 feet away from those oak trees is where we're finding those nice morels. And then right next to the pines. And usually it's the white pine, but it don't matter. We're finding the good ones next to cedars. They're just growing in random spots, but the best place to look is where it gets like 12 hours of sunlight and 12 hours of shade. I know we haven't had much sunlight, but it's where the sun meets the shade. If you find a spot where the sun meets the shade, there's probably going to be morels around sand, gravel, you name it. A lot of people think you need to look. The main spots to look, everybody always went with, is ash, elm, apple. Then we're always going to be good spots. But don't give up on the other spots. Don't pass morels to go look where there might not be no morels or there might be a couple morels. Just look. Now is the time. They're growing good. We had all that rain. Now it's drying up. Sun's coming out. And mold's a fungus, right? So it's going to grow. So get out there, look for morels. And thanks everybody again for watching Spars Outdoors. Hope you guys like those turkey hunting videos. I got a couple more coming up. It's been a great season for those. And don't forget about the wild asparagus that's coming. Wild asparagus is starting to grow as well. So that's another good thing to forage for and put in your freezer to go along with those wild caught walleyes and salmon and everything else you guys have caught and turkeys you've shot and stuff like that, and the wild onions and wild garlic and everything's starting to grow. It's just that time of year. Spring in Michigan is a wonderful time, guys. So thanks everybody again for watching Spars Outdoors. Please hit that like. Don't forget to hit that like. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe to this channel. I got a veterans giveaway coming up. It's going to be huge. It's going to be probably one of the biggest giveaways I've had for a veterans giveaway coming up here real soon. And lots more fun stuff, man. This channel is going to stay action-packed. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.